Make a simple karambit in wire. The karambit is a curved knife, used as melee weapons in games like Counter-Strike and Valorant. Start at the midpoint of your wire. Start a bend and measure 4 centimeters. Connect this segment back to the bend to form a circle. Cross the wires and loop over the wire, then loop through the circle. Lock the shape by looping tightly. Thread the wire through the circle. This technique is similar to making consecutive rings for Gold Claws Level 2. Tutorial linked below. The left side will form the tip, the right will go towards the base of the blade. Press down the circle at the opposite midpoint to flatten the circle, to form 2 more bends. This will create 4 corners to form the diamond base of the blade. Measure a 1 cm segment as a space for the next shape. This time measure a pair of 2 cm segments for the bottom half. Then measure 1 cm segments for the top half. This creates an asymmetric diamond longer at the bottom or back half of the karambit. Loop around the spacer, then thread through this diamond to secure. Thread through the diamond then towards the base of the blade. This build is essentially a variation of making a kunai, whose tutorial is linked below. Here the diamond shape differs. Pull towards the base to secure tightly. Open this diamond shape slightly. Make a 1.5 cm spacer. Then make a larger diamond. Bend at a right angle, then measure 3 cm segments for the back half. Then measure 1.5 cm for the top half. Fold over the 1.5 cm segment, loop around and lock as before. This progression creates the different curves of the front and back half of the karambit. Notice how when you thread through, it goes around under the midline around the bottom segment. This creates a diagonal for the curve in the blade. Measure another 1.5 cm spacer, then make the largest diamond. Measure 3.5 cm segments for this half and 1.5 for the next half. This is the basic widening taper of the karambit. Lock and thread through as before. Return to the left wire at the tip of the blade. Fold through and over the diamond. Measure 3 cm segments for the tip, to connect on the opposite half. To copy the diagonal in the midline, loop through and around the bottom segment of the asymmetric diamond shapes. Because of this orientation, the wire is looping through over the long half. Continue down the line. Create a 1 cm spacer and loop over and around. Can you see the 3D shape taking form? As you connect the points of the diamonds, start to widen the diamond shape. Loop over, tightly secure the spacing. The goals at this point is to continue the tapering of the curved blade, and to connect the tip to the rest of the free corners of the diamonds. Curve the tip towards the top half. After the 1.5 centimeter spacer, form a medium diamond. Measure 3 centimeter segments for this tapering bottom half. Then measure 2 centimeter segments for the top half. Bend the top half and lock to the midline. Lock and loop through and around the bottom segment. And lock with the opposite wire. After this, you can start with the guard. However, for this design, I will make a taper towards the base, before the guard. Check the alignment of the curve and widen the diamond slightly. Create a 1 centimeter spacer and bend at a right angle. Measure a 2.5 centimeter segment for the bottom half. And 2 centimeters for the top or front half. This medium diamond transitions the blade to the guard. Loop around and through. Lock the diamond on the opposite half. Continue to the next diamond. The next diamond has 2 centimeter sides. Measure 2 centimeters for the top half as well. Lock around the center line and thread through this symmetrical diamond. Widen the diamond shapes and bend the segments to better curve the blade portion. Lock the opposite half along its midline. Adjust the diamond shapes. Progressively widen at the center so it tapers towards the curved tip. Curve the spacers towards the front half until you are satisfied with the concave of the inner curve. Press the midline to sharpen the taper towards the tip. The goal now is to connect the inner and outer curves of the blade. Connect another wire at its midline at the tip of the karambit to bridge the free corners of the diamonds. These wires loop over the corners alternately on the right and left halves. At the first diamond, it loops below so it follows the next loops above, and so on. Keep in mind the curve of the karambit as you lock the points, as you loop above the second diamond. This next one loops below. See the pattern? Continue the pattern along both this larger back edge and the corresponding front inner edge. Let's skip forward. Continue the alternating locking pattern along the inner curved edge. See how it loops on one segment of the diamond, then loops over the other side of the corner? Now we can skip forward to forming the guard. To better secure this point, loop over the right and left half a second time. Measure a 1 cm spacer and start measuring 3 cm segments for the largest diamond. This wide base prevents your fingers from hitting the blade. The goal for this guard and the handle is to intersect each next shape with the 4 free wires. Close the largest 3 by 3 cm diamond. Loop over and through as before. Connect the edge wires accordingly with 1 cm spacers. After the diamond, measure a 1 cm spacer. Then form a 6 cm circle and close the shape accordingly. The circles will correspond to the middle of your fingers, forming a 2 cm cylinder for each handle portion. The next shape will be a half circle at the back, then a triangle at the front half. Lock the circle with the midline wires. Loop over a second time to tighten the handle. Curve the edge wires towards the 6 cm circle, forming a space for your fingers. Thread the edge wires through the circle and over. This side of the handle will be in contact with your fingers. Make sure this anchor is secure. See the handle taking shape? After a 1 cm spacer, use the back edge wire to form a 1.5 cm segment, then a 3 cm segment. Form an identical 3 cm segment and 1.5 cm segment to form a triangle and a hemisphere. The 3 cm triangle will fit between the spaces of the fingers, while the 3 cm hemisphere continues the handle. Lock the shape accordingly. Then curve the 1.5 cm segments to arcs for the half circle. Lock the shape with the midline wires. Lock with the opposite midline wire, and try the handle to get the curve for the opposite edge wire. See how the triangle fits in between the fingers? Open the triangle slightly, then anchor the point with the curved inner edge wire. The next step is to duplicate the circle and teardrop shape for the next 2 fingers at 1 cm intervals. Repeat the steps as before and extend the lines by adding new wires. Close the second to the last circle. Form the last 1 cm spacer. Then make the last 6 cm circle for the middle finger. This one is a circle in the teardrop shape since the ring of the karambit will separate the pointer finger. Lock around and thread through like before. Lock with the edge wires. Lock with the midline wire. Once secure, hold the handle and approximate the ring for the index finger. Use the midline wires to create a triangular structure to support the back half of the ring. Measure about a 9 to 10 cm ring and secure to the last handle circle. Once satisfied, secure the edge wire forming the ring in place. With the opposite back edge wire, secure the loops of the ring, then spiral around the ring. Spiral around tightly. Let's skip close to the end. At the end of the ring, secure the spiral of the wire by locking to place. Use the other free wires to complete the ring for the index finger of this karambit. Here I use forceps to bite the wire down, locking the spiral in place. After a quick test, it's time to use the remaining wires to anchor the back of the ring. Use the midline wires to build a triangle to support the back half of the ring. Then thicken the center wire by spiraling around it with the free wire. This gives it weight and rigidity. We're nearly done. Trim the excess wire, then lock into place by biting down with pliers, or in this case forceps. Once all the wires are secured tightly, you can start with the final adjustments. Press down on the loop overs to lock the joints. Check your lines and the curve of the karambit, especially the edges of the blade. Check the fit, especially the grip for the handle. DIY karambit in wire. The karambit is a knife from Southeast Asia typically held in reverse grip. In games like CSGO or Valorant, it is the go-to melee weapon used as a stabbing and slashing weapon. Although it can be used in combat, it is typically used for cutting roots and planting rice or opening boxes. The finger ring prevents you from dropping the knife. Here is the karambit with my kunai build. Here it is with Minato's Kunai from Naruto in wire. Tutorial linked below. DIY Karambit in wire. Make one as a prop or fidget toy. Learn the tricks and flips. Use the wireframe for paper mache. Then paint the color or skin of your choice. Like and subscribe for more designs and tutorials. Thanks for watching.